Peace, 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 family. We are now live, back with another video. My name is Michael Jordan, aka the Sirius Alchemist. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious about my shit. Yes, sir. Back with another video. Good to be back. You know what I'm saying? Good to be back again. Got another book review. Um, I have to come on here first and apologize for not being ready for the book study this week. But the book study will definitely be this Wednesday, 7 p.m. for sure. For those of you interested, leave your email or something in the description box, and I'll send you the link before the book study actually begins. About 10 minutes before it begins, I'll send you the link so you can be ready to jump right on in. That's if you're interested. Again, this Wednesday coming up at 7 p.m., we'll be starting a book study. I don't know if we're going to go with the book we had planned. I think the book is going to change. I think we're going to go with another book. I believe I don't have a book in front of me. I think it's called Manifest and Receive. I think we want to go with that book because I think that book, a lot of more people could get a lot out of that book and could actually use that book to evolve, to help evolve themselves. So I think we're gonna go with the book called Manifest and Receive. I think I can't think of the author's name right offhand. Let me pull it up real quick so I can get her name out. So if anybody's interested, they could go ahead and get the book if they're interested in the book study. I believe it's Manifest and Receive by Manifest and Receive. By Eva Hartley. Manifest and Receive by Eva Hartley. Yeah, family. Manifest and Receive by Eva Hartley. That's the book we're going to be studying on next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and every Wednesday. So what we'll end up doing, we'll read a chapter or two chapters during the week, and then we'll discuss it on that Wednesday. Discuss, what we think it's saying, how to apply it, how to use it, because we're going to really dissect these books. You know what I'm saying? We're going to really go into this book, and we're going to dissect it. And by dissecting the book, we're going to be dissecting ourselves. We're going to try to get rid of the negative and bring in the positive, get rid of the negative things about ourselves and start bringing in the positive things about ourselves. This book is excellent for that. And the book is called Manifest and Receive by Eva Hartley. And if you haven't heard of the book, you should get the book. Because like she explains in the book, you know what I'm saying, you were meant to receive and you were meant to manifest. We all were. And a lot of times we, discourage ourselves, but not believing in ourselves and not believing that, not having confidence in ourselves and not having enough courage in ourselves. So the book study is going to start next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And the name of the book is Manifest and Receive by Eva Hartley. So if you are interested in the book study, leave your email in the description box. And again, I have to apologize for the book study not happening last Wednesday because things came up and things happened, but we're going to start it this Wednesday. And the book is going to be Manifest and Receive by Eva Hartley. And I think this book is an excellent book. I think everybody can gain something from this book. I think everybody can grow from this book. You know what I'm saying? I believe that we can all gain a better understanding on what manifestation really is and how to manifest. Because a lot of people think you can just think about something and manifest it. No, it don't work that way. It's a lot to it. You know what I mean? It's a lot more to it. So when it comes to manifesting things, I think a lot of us got the wrong idea about manifestation. You feel me? I think a lot of us think we could just think about something and poof, there it is. No, it's a little bit more than that. It takes scripting, writing, it takes visualization, it takes meditation, it takes a whole host of things that all come together to create manifestation. It's not as easy as people think. You know what I'm saying? But it is possible. So again, we having a book study next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Manifest and Receive by Eva Hartley. If you're interested, you know what I'm saying, put your email down in the description box and I'll send you the link 15 minutes before the actual book study. So, but today, the book review is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. And this is an excellent book. You know what I'm saying? I had to come on here and do a book review on this book today because when I first read this book really helped me to understand my thought process is very, very important, family. Thoughts that you keep, you're going to have to learn how to monitor the thoughts that you keep. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we'll just let a thought pop up in our mind, you know what I'm saying, especially a negative or you know what I'm saying, a negative thought, and then dwell on it. But that's not the thing to do. The thought is to replace it or to let it go. You know what I'm saying? To get rid of it somehow and dwell on positive things, because the more things you dwell on is what you pay attention to is what persists or what shows up. You know what I'm saying? So you should it makes sense to be paying attention to good things like I have perfect health. Think about all day that you have perfect health, or you're an infinite intelligent being. You know, thinking on those lines. You know what I'm saying? When you think on those lines, you manifest those types of things. You manifest those things in your life. You feel me? So this book today, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, is a really good book to have in your library. Because if you think about thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Everything in this known universe came from a thought. If you think about that for a second, everything in this universe came from a thought. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like this mouse was once a thought in somebody's head. You know what I'm saying? This phone was once a thought in somebody's head. Now it's a reality. You know what I'm saying? This microphone was once a thought in somebody's head, and now it's a reality. So this book right here, I think, is very, very important. It's very important for the times we living in. So you got to pay attention to your thoughts. Your thoughts produces your reality. And some people don't really understand that, but if you get this book, you will. So it says, as a man thinketh, and you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, during the day, I always think I have perfect health. You know what I'm saying? Everything works out for me. Money comes to me like nothing. I think that constantly. You know what I'm saying? And the more you do that and the more you believe that, the more that you make it possible. The more you make it possible, the more you make it tangible, the more you can make it manifest. You know what I'm saying? So this book right here that I'm doing the book study on, I mean the book review on today, is a book that could actually transform you if you allow it to. If you understand what I'm saying. This book can actually transform you if you allow it to. This book, so I'm gonna read something from the back. And again, like I said, this book is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. And it says, the vision that you glorify in your mind, the ideal that you enthrone in your heart, this you will build your life by. This you will become. That's guaranteed, family. If you constantly think of yourself as the greatest thing that ever existed, that's the only thing you could ever become, is the greatest thing that ever existed. Because you're thinking that. Your thoughts produces the action. Your thought produces the outcome. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, you got to learn how to control your thought process, right? So in this book, and it says this is an original 1902 classic, even more important in modern times with the myriad of forces distracting us from achieving a fulfilled life. As a Man Thinker reveals the hidden powers and possibilities within yourself by expounding on the importance of thought. Your own thoughts shape your character, circumstance, and destiny. And the control of your own thoughts liberates us from undesirable experiences. In our never-ending pilgrimage to a deeper understanding of life, there is no better prescription than the mastery over the mind. You know what I'm saying? The mastery over the mind. The mind is one of your greatest assets. You know what I'm saying? And how you use it is very, very important. You know what I'm saying? So I want to read something in the book like I always do, family. You know, when I come and do a book study. When I bring a book in front of y'all, hopefully somebody will go out and get the book. That's what I'm hoping in my heart. I'm hoping somebody will go out and get the book, grab the book, study the book, and transform their own life. Because if somebody goes out and gets this book, even if one person, I don't care, 1, 10, 1,000, whatever, but if one person go get this book and read it and apply the principles in this book, then my job is done. You know what I'm saying? If one person go get this book and read it, because there's so many gems and jewels. In every book I bring before y'all is full of gems and jewels. First of all, let me say that. Because I'm an avid reader, and reading helped change my life, which is why I come with the books, which is why I tell the people that watch my videos, I always come with the books. Because me, I got a lot of books. You know what I'm saying? So I give the books so you ain't got to come to me. You know what I'm saying? You could just go read the books for yourself. You ain't got to come to me and say, oh, master, can you give me some? No, I just give you the books. And you go get the books and study them for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's time out for that gatekeeping stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not my information. This information don't belong to me. Or none of this information out there belongs to anyone. But you'll notice how a lot of people be gatekeeping information. Just notice, just look on the internet. You'll see a lot of these channels. They gatekeeping like a mug, but they not going to last. I'm telling you, I ain't going to call no names. But you just keep watching, and you just keep watching. All these gatekeeping channels finna disappear. Watch what I tell you. But anyway, on the subject, back to the subject at hand, as a man thinketh, the way you think is very important, family. So what I'm going to share with y'all, what I wanted to share with y'all is on page 19, and it's called The Effect of Thought on Health and the Body, right? Like I said, I told y'all, I think to myself all the time, I'm in perfect health. You know what I'm saying? Perfect health is mine. Perfect health belongs to me. You feel me? Perfect health is me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I tell myself. I tell myself all the time, money comes to me like water. You know what I'm saying? And it does. So, and I'm saying, you're not going to be able to do this overnight. You know what I'm saying? I've been training myself to do this for years. This is something I've been doing for years. But this is something I teach other people to do. This is something I teach other people how to do. You feel me? So this is page 19, and it says, effect of thought on health and the body. The body is the servant of the mind. It obeys the operations of the mind, whether they be deliberately chosen or automatically expressed. At the bidding of unlawful thoughts, the body sinks rapidly into disease and decay. At the command of glad and beautiful thought, it becomes clothed with youthfulness and beauty. Now listen to that, family. In that first paragraph, there's a lot. There's a lot in that first paragraph. The body is the servant of the mind. It obeys the operations of the mind, whether they be deliberate, chosen, or automatically expressed. At the bidding of unlawful thoughts, the body sinks rapidly into disease and decay. At the command of glad and beautiful thoughts, it becomes clothed with youthfulness and beauty. Disease and health, like circumstances, are rooted in thought. Sickly thoughts will express themselves through a sickly body. Thoughts of fear have been known to kill a man as speedily as a bullet. And they are continually killing thousands of people just as surely, though less rapidly. The people who live in fear of disease are the people who get it. Anxiety quickly demoralizes the whole body and lays it open to the interest of dis-ease, while impure thoughts, even if not physically indulged, will soon shatter the nervous system. And that's fact, family. Sooner or later, if you keep holding these negative thoughts, it's sooner or later you creating people don't understand, we create our own realities every day. Because when we was born, by the time we were 7 years old, our parents are ingrained in us all the crap that they had in them, whether they had money or they didn't have money. You know what I'm saying? Whether they were, whether they could communicate well or they couldn't communicate well, whether they could handle money well or they couldn't have. Whatever your parents had, they pretty much gave to you. We learned from a young age all these things that our parents had, right? So we really never really learned how to think. You see what I'm saying? So this book tells you that as a man thinketh, so is he. You feel me? As a man thinketh, so is he. So I'm gonna continue reading on page 19. Now it says, I just read a chapter that's in that second paragraph. It said, disease and health, like circumstances, are rooted in thought. It pretty much is, because in the ancient world, When you went to go see a physician in the ancient world, the first thing they would ask you was your thought process. They wouldn't ask you, they would first ask you what your ailment was, but then after you told them what your ailment was, then they would go through a series of questions of, what you believed in. Were you a Democrat? Were you a Republican? Do you believe in the spirit world? They would ask you certain questions to figure out where you were mentally, because you got to remember, in the ancient world, they were masters. They were gods. I'm talking about masters, to make a modern day PhD look like a silly person. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, it says anxiety quickly demoralizes the whole body and lays it open to the entrance of disease, while impure thoughts, even if not physically indulged, will soon shatter the nervous system. Strong, pure, and happy thoughts build up the body in vigor and grace. The body is a delicate and plastic instrument which responds readily to the thoughts by which it is impressed, and habits of thought will produce their own effects, good or bad, upon it. So if you habitually thinking about how how if I do this, you worried about this happening, where that happened, all you're doing is causing dis-ease in the body. If you constantly worried about paying your bills, if you constantly worried about this, you constantly worried about that, all you're doing is creating dis-ease in the body, family. You got to learn how to think positive thoughts, good thoughts about yourself. And sometimes I know it ain't so hard to do. It's easier said than done, but it is possible. You know what I'm saying? It is very much possible. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a living testament of it, because I've done it. And I still do it till this day. Like I said, I tell myself all day positive things, all day long. You know what I'm saying? I tell myself how easily money comes to me, how easily things work out for me, how, my children are protected. Just by my thoughts, I just imagine them being protected, and they protected. So your imagination, and listen to that word, imagination. Your imagination is a powerhouse in itself, family. So we got to start to learn how to use our imagination, the power of the mind. And then it goes on to say in this book on page 20, men will continue to have impure and poisoned blood so long as they propagate unclean thoughts. Out of a clean heart comes a clean life and a clean body. Out of a defiled mind proceeds a defiled life and a corrupt body. Right? Thought is the font of action, life, and manifestation. Make the fountain pure and it will be pure. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a friend of mine, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say his name. He's an older guy, you know what I'm saying? And he always tell me, Mike, if the mind drifts, just bring it back. You know what I'm saying? Just bring it back. And when he first told me that, I really didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't get it when he first told me that, but now I get it. Because sometimes the mind is gonna drift. But it's okay. You just bring it back. Just pull it back, right? But it says, thought is the font of action, life, and manifestation. Make the fountain pure and it will be pure. Change of diet will not help a man who will not change his thoughts. I'm going to say that again. Change of diet will not help a man who will not change his thoughts. Well, good if you change your diet, but you still got the same old negative thoughts. Oh, I can't do this, or I can't achieve this because of this and that. No, you can achieve anything. It depends on how you think. Thought is the first step to everything. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. It's that simple. There's no trickery. There's no magic in that. It's just simple. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't and you won't. Period. And if you think you can, you will. Period. Period. And even if you fail a couple times, the failure is just a stepping stone to success. That's all it is. It's just a stepping stone to success. Excuse me. Let me get some water. And I'm telling you, I'll get y'all a copper cup and drink from, because copper, it electrifies the body, first of all, kills any parasites that might be in the body by drinking out of copper cups or vessels, and also purifies the blood. And check me on that. Do some research for yourself. Don't believe nothing I say. Purifies the blood. It does a host of other things. You know what I'm saying? A host of other positive things for the body. So, like the book says on page 20, change of diet will not help a man who will not change his thoughts. When a man makes his thoughts pure, he no longer desires impure food. So the thoughts creates the action. So once you start thinking something and it starts getting deep down inside of you and it starts to make the changes, you ain't gonna want McDonald's no more. You ain't gonna want Burger King no more. You ain't gonna want that. You're gonna want to start cooking and getting you some vegetables and some fruits and some things like that. And you might go and get you some of those things every now and then, but you won't do it in the way you did it before. You'll be a whole new being. So, like it says, clean thoughts make clean habits. The so-called saint who does not wash his body is not a saint. He who has strengthened and purifies his thoughts does not need to consider the malevolent microbe. If you would protect your body, guard your mind. If you would renew your body, beautify your mind. Thoughts of malice, envy, disappointment, despondency rob the body of its health and grace. You know what I'm saying? You jealous of another man for what? For what? For what? You can do and have the same thing he have, or even greater. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Even Christ told you that. You know what I'm saying? He told you to do greater things than I. So, those things, we got to really watch our mind and watch the things that we give credence to, thoughts to, power to. We give thoughts to things that have no power. I mean, I give all my power to my wife and my daughter. That's the joy of my life. I mean, I don't care about the material things. I mean, they nice to have. I'm not saying I don't like material things, but I'm saying they're not high on my list. What's high on my list is my queen and my daughter. Then the material, then all the other stuff. But first is my wife and my daughter, my children. You know what I'm saying? And then all the other stuff. But they come first. Family, the wife, the queen, the children, and everything else is below that. But you know what I'm saying? So, and he goes on to say, if you would protect your body, guard your mind. If you would renew your body, beautify your mind. Thoughts of malice, envy, disappointment, despondency rob the body of its health and its grace. A sour face does not come by chance. It is made by sour thoughts. Wrinkles that mar are drawn by folly, passion, and pride. And he goes on to say, I know a woman of 96 who has the bright, innocent face of a girl. I know a man well under middle age whose face is drawn into inharmonious contours. The one who is the result of a sweet and sunny disposition, the other is the outcome of passion and discontent. As you cannot have a sweet and wholesome abode unless you admit the air and sunshine freely into your rooms. So a strong body and a bright, happy, and serene countenance can only result from the free admittance into the mind of thoughts of joy and goodwill and serenity. You know what I'm saying? This book right here will change your life if you apply what's in it. You know what I'm saying? If you let the book transform you, it will transform you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this book, I found gold, man, in a lot of books, man. And like I always say, everything ain't in a book, man. Everything ain't in a book. But books are a great start. I mean, books are a great start. Because you can channel information, you get information from all kind of different ways, family. I ain't never gonna say that books are the only way to get, but I'm telling you, books changed my life. Books gave me the tools, strength, knowledge, medicine to change my own life, and it could do the same for you. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of other people out there know that. I know a lot of books have, changed a lot of other people's lives as well. So, yeah, family, this book is a must-have in your library. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. I mean, I can't say this enough. So I'm gonna share another piece in here that I put a little tab on that really I thought it hit hard. So it says, the strong, calm man is always loved and revered. He is like a shade giving tree. He is like a shade giving tree in a thirsty land, or a sheltering rock in a storm. Who does not love a tranquil heart, a sweet tempered, balanced life? It does not matter whether it rains or shines or what comes to those possessing these blessings, for they are always sweet, serene, and calm. The exquisite poise of character, which we call serenity, is the last lesson of culture, the fruitage of the soul. The fruitage of the soul. And I was reading a verse in the Bible. I wish I could remember the verse, but it's the fruit of the Spirit. And I know I got it written down somewhere, but I just don't know where. But this verse, if anybody's familiar with it, this reminds me of the fruit of the Spirit. That the peace and the calmness, through storm, no matter what the hell going on outside, no matter what the hell's going on, you still got peace and serenity and calmness going on inside of you. No matter what the hell could be going just crazy. And you got peace and serenity inside you. You feel me? So that's what this journey is all about. A lot of times we fighting stuff, we worried about these bills, and man, these bills ain't nothing, man. A lot of this stuff ain't real, man. A lot of this stuff is illusionary. We make it real by the attention we give it. Stop giving this stuff so much attention. You'll see that this stuff will just start disappearing, man. It'll just start disappearing, bro. But it says, the strong, calm man is always loved and revered. He is like a shade-giving tree in a thirsty land or a sheltering rock in a storm. Who does not love a tranquil heart, a sweet-tempered, balanced life? It does not matter whether it rains or shines or what comes to those possessing these blessings, for they are always sweet, serene, and calm. The exquisite poise of character, which we call serenity, is the last lesson of culture, the fruitage of the soul. It is precious as wisdom, more to be desired than gold, yeah, than even fine gold. How insignificant mere money seeking looks in comparison with the serene life. I'm going to read that one more time, family. How insignificant mere money seeking looks in comparison with the serene life. Man, you see people with money, they jittery, they can't stop for a second, they gotta go, I gotta answer the phone, that ain't peace. They ain't got no peace. They might have a piece of money, but they ain't got no peace. They ain't got no real peace. So, a life that dwells in the ocean of truth, beneath the waves, beyond the reach of tempest, is the eternal calm. How many people we know who soured their lives, who ruin all that is sweet and beautiful by explosive tempers, who destroy their poles of character and make bad blood? It is a question whether the great majority of people do not ruin their lives and mar their happiness by lack of self-control. How few people we meet in life who are well balanced, who have the exquisite poise, which is which is characteristic of the finished character. Yes, humanity surges with uncontrolled passion. It's tumultuous with ungoverned grief. It's blown about by anxiety and doubt. Only the wise man, only he whose thoughts are controlled and purified, makes the winds and the storms of the soul obey him. Tempest tossed souls, wherever ye may be, under whatsoever conditions ye may live, know this: in the ocean of life, the isles of blessedness are smiling, and the sunny shore of your ideal waits your coming. Keep your hand firmly upon the helm of thought. In the bark of your soul reclines the commanding master. He does but sleep. Wake him. Self-control is strength. Right thought is mastery. Calmness is power. Say unto your heart, peace, be still. This is a powerful book right here, fam. I'm telling y'all. This book right here, I had to do a book review on this one. I had to do a book review on this one. I got so many jewels out of this, family. I got so many jewels out of this. And today's world we living in, I'm telling you, if we don't need nothing else, we need peace. If we don't need nothing else, we need peace. So I'm gonna end this video, you know what I'm saying? But I hope somebody go out and get the book, you know what I'm saying, and read it for themselves. And don't take nothing from me that I told them, but just get the book and read it for themselves and see what it does for them. Man, I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. But again, my name is Michael Jordan, aka the Sirius Alchemist. I'm gonna play this quick video with Bobby. You know what I'm saying? Bobby was my teacher, so I'm gonna play this real quick and let y'all listen. Bobby, this is some rare footage of Bobby at his home. I think he might show a couple authors or something. Check this out.
A lotus flower with incredible beauty and luster. Immerse yourself in the music.
Greater reality is coming in. Greater reality is coming in. Greater reality is coming. Greater reality is coming in. And when we slide to the other side, it's paradise, and that's the best we can think because it's never been done before. You see what I'm saying? But let's put it this way. All you got to do is read on what you would think all the mythologists say what a god and goddess was, that you admired all those years, apply those same laws to yourself. And you pretty much get it. You know, you pretty much get it. Let's say Superman. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, and whatever you can think of would actually be the reality and whatever you would be able to produce. You see what I'm saying? So we talk about a world that is unbelievable. And that's why the material things that we deal with in this world is only trying to get simulations of something that we're lacking in this world, that we're trying to, that it's a simulation or inkling of what's in the next world. Run to everything that the government tell you is evil. They've been telling you this evil all these years, and what religion say is evil, you embrace. Because that is the key, baby. So anything that is deadly, dark, and dismal, and stuff that's terrifying, that's the stuff that you need to embrace. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, shoot. It's a simple thing. The government said, look, we'll call it Satanism, and we ain't got to worry about a nigger ever getting into it, because a nigger was a bad invention. So I'm telling you that everything that you call dark and dismal and evil, that's the stuff that you as intellectual adults need to ponder. And you will find that ain't evil at all. It's just the leftover history and the mysteries that they don't want you to explore. Death is the ultimate key. Every day you wake up should be a bad day. The only reason why you will bow down and take so much hell is because the Western man, number one, never understood death. And the first thing he did is took the ancient person and make you fear death. Death is liberation. It is the ultimate key. You see what I'm saying? Now, you know that's some enlightened stuff, but you ain't got many people come on your TV and start talking about death. Well, I'll push it to the end. Death is the ultimate. You see what I'm saying? Now, guess what? Once you find out that death is the ultimate key, life is a cakewalk. And that's what the ancient Egyptians used to do. They would start off in the ancient world teaching the children and everybody about death and the funerary rites. So therefore life is a doggone walk in the park.
The mantra.
You know, and let me tell you something. That's why they tell you don't supposed to grieve for your ancestors too much. Because they be over there chilling. You see what I'm saying? And only way you make it hard for them is they worrying about you on this side. And really, you're not really it's a selfish move. Because once they make the transition, you're only crying because you're not necessarily asking, well, what is it like for them over there? You're asking, how am I going to get along because they're gone? So it's ignorance. Because we have lost that esoteric and that stuff, that basic society. Why you think they celebrate the Day of the Day in all the society? What is that about? Yes, it's beautiful.
Everything auspicious, everything that you enjoy is in the domain of Lakshmi. She is the personification of happiness on the earth plane. Hiranyavarnam Harini Swarnarajadasajam Chandram Hiranmayim Lakshmi Jatavedo
We're here in Atlanta, Georgia, finally after 1 year. Last lecture I did in my home was October 16, 2004. And so now we're back, and this is an impromptu thing. The brother Ruja was going to come down, and we was going to do a sit-down lecture. We was going to do a sit-down lecture, and we was just going to do it together, me, Rudra, Linda, and Carla. And I think about 2 days ago, we just decided to invite some people. you know, invite some people and all. So we're gonna then what we're gonna do tomorrow, we're gonna get up, we're gonna take a tour of the house, and we're gonna put the altars. We're gonna show the altars and stuff. You know, this is a Lakshmi altar here. That actually around last year this time, I think around October, little before October the 16th, she appeared and she told us to put up this altar. So it's been working pretty good and all. You know, she's a goddess of prosperity and the goddess of wealth and prosperity and beauty. And her particular festival starts on August the 16th. It's called the Bengali Festival. No, Diwali Festival, excuse me. And it is as big in India as Christmas, New Year's, and 4th of July put together. For this this ancient goddess, we would say a form of Het-Heru in Egypt, a form of Erzuli in Dahomey, Africa, a form of Inanna in Samaria, Ishtar in Babylon, Aphrodite in both Phoenicia and then later on Greece. And so she's permeated the house. This is her gold dress up here. We'll show these tomorrow for the we'll just show this tomorrow for the people on the camera. When I put this together, the room adjoining this, and when you get a chance to go and peep, you can peep. We're going to put this on the camera, too. There's a whole other room dedicated to Goddess Lakshmi. But this room was full of furniture and stuff like that, because I had a homeboy that got through out of his apartment back in 2001. And so for some reason, he came over, and I stored all his stuff in the apartment for about 4 years. And people said, why'd you do it? I said, well, this is the brother who turned me on to consciousness. Years ago. So I just figured I owed him something. At least he could at least keep his stuff up in there. And, you know, I was by myself at the time as far as in the house. So, you know, a guy in the house, you know, we ain't into that much decorating anyway, you know. It's only when the sister come and say that shit got to go that I had to get a nigga a call. You see what I'm saying? You know, so a little after she got here and all, had to get a brother a call, and so we cleaned out the room, and he had and it was a whole thing of gold coins, and those gold dollar bills they came out with at the first of the gold dollar bills. They put like in 2000. Anyway, he had about 20 of them in a satchel there, and it was all over the floor. And I said, what we gonna do with these and stuff? And so the goddess Lakshmi came through and said, give them to me. I'm gonna say, give them to me. And so right then, when she said that, I said, well, we got to build an altar. And we started with the altar, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. So it was bigger than this. It took up all of this room almost. And so then what we did, we extended it and stuff where we put gold trim around the room. So basically, this whole room is the actual dedicated to the goddess Lakshmi and all this. And some people said, well, why did you do this? I said, well, she just showed up. And so I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a series of these. We're going to do them every month. You know what I'm saying? Because if we wait on people with to get buildings and stuff like that, you know. And one brother, we had a building in 2000, and we got about 200 people up in there, and he saw the money he could make, so he started charging us $60 an hour, and all kind of crazy stuff. So we decided to this. Like I said, it's a spur of the moment, so it's impromptu. So so the timing thing, you know, people had to see what's going on. So I guess next time, you know, it'll be even better than that. But also what we wanted to do is we also wanted to, he was supposed to come now last week and do this, the brother Rudra, but we decided to do it this week, and because of the Halloween thing, which we're telling most black people that this is probably one of the closest days to anything that's dealing with Africa and stuff like that. And, you know, we take this for granted and stuff like that, and we say that's a bunch of crazy white people stuff. But basically, everywhere around the world, they have a Day of the Dead and celebrations of the dead. And they have Lent festivals and different ones all in the Caribbean. And one brother said that, because there's a big thing now, people going down to Brazil, a lot of brothers going down to Brazil and stuff, you know, to get their freak on and stuff, you know. So it's been a big thing, especially with the black so-called middle class. They started going like in the late 90s and the early 2000s. They go down to Brazil and stuff like that and get treated like a king or whatever, you know.
And so one brother, he met up with a sister there, and instead of, just getting the freaky deaky thing, he just decided to just hook up with this one sister. And the sister took him to each island. And, each weekend there's a festival in a certain island, and they follow the festival throughout all of South America. You see what I'm saying? So this is amazing. So everybody have these festivals, even over in different places like Tibet, and they got another day. What's that other day of the day? That's over in Indonesia, and they got them all around the world. And this stuff all comes from Africa. It all comes from a universal ancient culture of black people. And so the only thing we have as far as a holiday that recognizes that is actual Halloween. Whereas, so we talking about Monday, and there's so many words. I always bring some books out here. I think it's in this book here, Mysteries of the Dark Moon by Demetra George, where they talk about, I think that day is the closest day that the realm of the dead and the realm of the realm of the dead and the realm of the living overlap. It's like a doorway. Well, it's interesting here, the reason why we decided to do this, and actually what really made me invite the people and say, let's do this like a sit-down Halloween thing, is because the simple fact here is because of the Katrina aspect. Because we got so many people that's become ancestors and has come to the realm of the dead. We talking about 50,000. It's like what the news is saying. They say what do they say? 900 or 1,000? And then they say, but they got bad bodies stacked on top of each other. And they say, well, we don't want to identify, we don't want to count them because we need to find out based on DNA. And these bodies are underwater and they're decomposing every 5 minutes. You see what I'm saying? So in so many words, they're purposely doing this because they don't want to tell you the actual number. And the number is about 50,000. 50,000 in New Orleans, in that whole area, and 50,000 in Pakistan. You see the whole thing, which in all of this stuff is done by the HARP weather control. Like I said, we got plenty of things on Katrina. I have one on Katrina. Brother Valentine had one on Katrina. Sister Frances Cress Wilson came out from out of obscurity, and she has one on Katrina. And we even have one, Farrakhan has one on Katrina. And a brother named Brother Alim has one on Katrina. And I heard that Delbert Blair just did one out in California on Katrina. That I heard. So in so many words, this is why we celebrate this whole the whole trick-or-treat thing and the whole Halloween thing, and especially trick-or-treat. And my queen brought that to me and stuff. And if you can see her, hey, come in here for a minute, Linda. She told me not to put on the camera, but you know how it is. She tell me every time, and every time I do it and stuff. Is she gonna come this time or she ain't gonna show up? Well, you might as well. I just called you out now, so you're gonna look, very antisocial if you don't come now. See, that's how you got to put a nigga on the spot. You come on out here for a minute. This is a sister. This is the queen of the house, from D.C. So she's from West Hill, D.C. And she's wearing her famous Halloween dress. Put on your skull, put on your thing. That she playing on her trick-or-treat dress and stuff like that. Did you have this on Did you have this on when we was doing trick-or-treat last year? Did we no, we didn't have that on. This is the first time on this one. She had on a mask and scared the shit out of the children. But this is her Morticia, you know what I'm saying, dress and stuff like this and all. We just want to put a little fashion show up in here and all, yeah. So anyway, but she's the one that said, no, we got to do trick or treat and stuff. And so the significance was that when those children come and you give them the candy, that's actually the ancestors and the souls coming to receive the blessings. So it's a whole ritual behind that. So this is some things that you need to reincorporate because, we got all Afrocentric over the years and, we threw a lot of stuff out, the baby with the bathwater, including Christmas, which is actually the birthday of Mithra. Now, the birthday of Mithra, now I'm going to see if I got the book. Linda, I think go in the room and see if can you find the book, the Goddess Book of Days. The Goddess Book of Days. I think it might be in the bedroom. And so anyway, they have these particular festivals. And even if you remember now, a lot of this stuff that what we're thinking as holidays was actually put in by.
All right, family. I just wanted to give y'all a little treat. You know what I'm saying? Bobby, I just want to give y'all that little treat. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to go and get out of here. I got some stuff to do tonight. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, my name is Michael Jordan, a.k.a. the Sirius Alchemist. you like a reading from me, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Leave your email down in the description box or whatever. So y'all have a great night. Peace.